Hello guys. In the previous video we talked about, we addressed the question of psychoanalysis not being a science, and we mentioned that one of the greatest disciples of Freud's, Carl Jung, conducted an experiment which gave us scientific, empirical evidence for psychoanalysis, being true to some extent. So, in this video, I want to, talk about the actual experiment. Okay, it was conducted in the early 20th century by Jung. So that's him as a cartoon, and that's him as a real man. I'm sure you've seen, Carl Jung, and you know how he looks. And the experiment that Jung conducted in the early 20th century, and by the way, this was, I think, before he even met Freud. Okay, they met, pretty early, in their lives. I mean, well, Freud was middle-aged, but Carl Jung was still a young man, and even before they met, Jung conducted, this experiment to prove, psychoanalysis to be true. So the experiment was as follows. All right, so I guess I was looking for some couch or something, some psychoanalytic props. Yeah, perhaps this. So in a basic kind of clinical setup, Jung would simply ask you is a simple question. Okay, give me the first association that comes into your mind when you hear a word. So, for instance, he would say, I don't know, cucumber. And you would say, well, cucumber, the, first thing that comes to my mind is green. All right. Then he says, horse. I don't know. You would say, I mean, the thing that comes to my mind is maybe, I don't know, John, because you used to know a guy named John, and you went horseback riding with him. I don't know. So simply, he would give you a word, and you would come up with whatever comes into your mind. The first thing, the first way to associate this word with a concept in your own experience, and he would time it. Okay, he would time it. He would, like for instance, cucumber took him, he said green, and it took him, 5 seconds to come up with this answer. When it comes to the word horse, it took him, 2 seconds to come up with an answer. And then he would just do this. He would, record the value, the word, and how long it took you to respond. Okay. And in the next video, we'll get back to this topic.